Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Ay da 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 da. Ya da ya da 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 da. Ba ya ba ya ya. Da da da. Da 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 ya ba ba ba. Mm-hmm. Ay 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 ay. Da 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 da. Ma ya 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 ya. Da 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 da. This l'chaim goes out to all the souls. All the souls. L'chaim chaim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, she'akol nהיה bidvaro. Making announcements outside on speakers. 11:05 p.m. I guess they're waking us up to tell us to go to sleep. I don't know. The cops do that. They announce on speakerphones, go to sleep. Kind of like they beat you up, tell you to go to sleep. The wildest, most wild piece of Talmud, because I opened up the book from the shelf over there. There's books on the shelf, you feel? Opened up a book, but which book, right? How do you know which book to pick? So, in Judaism, everything has guidelines. How to do this and what to do after and before, like everything. And how to go about it. And all the steps. The classic example is like going to the bathroom, like where the bathroom should be and how to use the bathroom, how to make sure you're clean and you know, what to do after, to wash your hands and how to wash your hands and what to say, the blessing, what, you know, there's a whole, you know, it's not just I went to the bathroom, right? I'm saying everything is thought out methodically from top to bottom. So we do everything starting from the right and also starting from the top. When you're getting dressed, you're starting, you know, from the head, you know. So I didn't know which book to I didn't know which book to pick, so I'm saying you have a lot of books. How many books? Like, you know, I don't know, like on the shelf, for example, right? This shelf has 3, 6, 9, 12, I think, 15. Where am I up to? 18. I don't know which ones I touched. 21, 24, 27, and 30. This also have 30. Let's count another one. This has 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 17. So let's just say 20 on average, okay? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but that one not. So there's like 35 times 20. 700 books here, plus the top books. There's about 700 books here, give or take. I don't know. There's probably 500 books at least. How many books do you think are here? There's a lot of books, right? So I went with the top right one. Happens to be the Talmud Bavli, the Babylonian Talmud, and the first volume was on the top right. So that's what we're holding. Then Yaakov Moshe mentioned something about Samach Aleph, which is 61. And I thought he was referring to page 61 in the Talmud of the Talmud that I showed him at a Talmud Bavli Tractate Bracho. He was referring to, I think, Torah 61 from Rabbi Nachman, the teaching of Rabbi Nachman, number 61, Samach Aleph, which, interestingly enough, has to do with apparently going to the bathroom and not studying Torah when you need to go to the bathroom. Because why? Because it can mess up your Torah like doeg or something. It's funny because I actually just went to the bathroom before doing this. I went to take piss, So, and I washed my hands. Thank God I had water and tissues to dry my hands, Anyways, what do I want to show you? First of all, you have to know something. You could open up a Gemara and read it with like an English translation from an art scroll or from Sefaria or from Chabad or wherever you're getting your English translation from. And you can interpret the Gemara, exactly according to the interpretation in front of you in the English translation or French or Spanish, whatever, but Russian, who cares? But I'm saying there's many ways to learn up a sugya and a topic of Talmud. And every Magid Shir, every teacher of Talmud has their own style and also their own approach. And it's just different. You can hear the same page, the same Daf Gemara, page of Talmud from many different people, and they'll all give it to you differently. So yes, there's an advantage to having an English translation in front of you and commentaries in front of you, but there's also an advantage to just reading the page simply with, innocence, and maybe you're going to misunderstand something, but that's why you have to learn it many times. You read it many times, and every time something clicks a little more, and eventually you get it. Eventually you have the topic, the sugya in your head pretty clear. And then I'm saying every time you learn it, you learn something new. And there's a famous quotation, I believe from the Talmud itself, that there's no comparison between studying something 100 times and 101 times. So there's many ideas on what that means. Like, obviously the simple meaning is that even the 101st time, you're still learning something new. That's the obvious meaning. But there's many things, like what's the +1? It's with Hashem, or 100 is a complete set. I don't know, you could say whatever you want to say, but where we're opened up to is 61, right? Okay, Samach Aleph 61. Tractate Brachot happens to be in the 9th parak, which is called, the 9th chapter, which is called Haraya. I guess the one who sees. So anyways, down here, it's right in the middle of a topic, but you see it's talking about like Adam, which is Adam, right? Ha-Adam, the man. I saw something very interesting. I saw something like, I don't know, like, okay, should we just start from here, okay? So again, Tanu Rabbanan, the rabbis taught, I guess in a baraita, I think, right? A baraita is a teaching like a Mishnah that never made it into the Mishnah. The rabbis taught, I believe in a baraita, Hamaratze ma'is le'isha miyadai leda kidei lehistakel ba afilu yesh biyadai Torah umasim tovim k'Moshe Rabbeinu lo yinake midina shel gehinam shenemar Yad liyad loy yinake ra loy yinake midina shel gehinam. Okay, there was another piece I was looking for about Adam and Eve. Maybe it was higher, maybe it was lower. It's like hard for me to like look at this through the camera and make sure you can see. It's talking about woman and comparing her to a chamber of some sort. It was very, very interesting. I didn't exactly understand it, but I wanted to at least read it with you. Oh, here, Vlad, this one. Okay, so now we know where it is. It starts, where does it start? Tana, over here. Or Ben Masnisa, no. No, it starts higher. I don't even know where it starts. Whoa. It's like deep in a conversation, but okay. It's quoting. Okay. It's like I don't want to have to read this whole thing to you just to get to where I want to get to, but it's very important for context and for understanding. But I'm just not trying to do all that. So, okay. Okay, my vayiven lichid Rabbi Shimon ben Menasya, de Dorash Rabbi Shimon ben Menasya. My dechsiv, what's it? He expounded. What's it written? What's it written? The verse, Vayiven Hashem asatzela. This verse, and Hashem built the tzela, I think is translated as a rib, right? Or the side. Melamed, it teaches shekila'a, it's the same word. Or no, it's not the same word, sorry. Shekila'a HaKadosh Baruch Hu l'chava. HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Hashem did to Chava kila'a. I don't know what that means, this word shekila'a. Ve'ivia Adam, and he brought her to man, Harishon, the first man. Shekain b'krachei hayam, so it is in the villages of the sea. I don't know what that is, the villages of the sea, but there they call Kali Isa, they call this Kali Isa Benaisa. They call it a Benaisa. Davar Acher, and alternatively, Vayiven, what does it mean? And he built, or what's Vayiven? I don't even know what Vayiven means, but what does that mean? And he built Amar Rav Ḥisda. So said Rav Ḥisda, V'amila b'masnisa tana, and some say it was taught in a Mishnah. Melamed, it teaches Bana HaKadosh Baruch Hu l'chava. This is what I wanted to show you, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu built, Hashem, the Holy One, blessed be He, built for Eve, or to Eve, kibinyan oitzer, like a building of a storehouse, like a storehouse. Ma oitzer, just like a storehouse, kotzer milamala. It's short above, I'm not short, sorry, narrow from above, v'rachav milamata, and wide below. Kidei lekabel es haperos, in order to receive the fruit. Okay, so in order to receive the fruit, it's narrow on the top and wide on bottom, a storehouse. Af isha, so to a woman, kitsara milamala, she's narrow above, and v'rachba milamata, and wide below. Kedei lekabel es vlad, in order to receive the fetus. Vayavi'eha el ha'adam, and he brought it to the man. Amar Rabbi Yirmiyah ben Elazar, says Rabbi Yirmiyah, son of Elazar, this Melamed, this teaches Shenas HaKadosh Baruch Hu shush bin la'adam arishon, that Hashem, the Holy One, blessed be He, made shush bin, I don't know what that means, to the first man. Mikan lamda Torah derech eretz. From here, the Torah is teaching derech eretz, like proper etiquette. She yachzor gadol im katan b'shoish binois, that you should return the great with the small, the big with the small, with their shoish binois. I know that word somewhere in my head. I don't know what it means. V'al yiraloi, and you shouldn't be afraid of him, I think. Okay, so what was I trying to show you? I was just trying to show you that piece about the wide on bottom, narrow on top, wide on bottom. We could look at the Rashi and see if he elaborates any further. But there was a piece I just read earlier that's also interesting. I wanted to translate that for you about here. Tanu Rabbanan, the rabbis taught, Hamaratze ma'is le'isha, someone who appeases money to a woman from her hand. From his hand to her hand, in order to look at her, even if he has in him Torah and good deeds like Moshe, our teacher, he's not going to be purified or redeemed. He's not going, cleaned. He's not going to be cleaned from the judgments of hell. We have a verse to support it. So I don't even know what that's talking about. So those two things are both very interesting. One I intended to show you, one it just happened to. We have to find the Rashi. This is the Rashi. Let's see if any of these Rashis are relevant to what we were reading. So that's the verse that we quoted. Maybe it's quoted again later, though, so we have to be careful and check later. But that's the verse he was quoting, so it's probably above that. Let's see from the top Rashis. Let's see. Okay. Okay, sorry, we're just looking for the Rashi. Shushbin, first of all, what's a shushbin? It's Rashi mishtadel bechupasai ubezivugasai. What? A shushbin is someone who puts in toil or effort in the chuppah canopy, the wedding canopy, and in the zivug, in the like the intimacy, the unity, the intimacy. So what? He's like, this person's like someone who like sets them up, that they have like their wedding canopy and their room to consummate the marriage. Maybe that's a shushbin. Maybe. Okay, so honestly, I don't see any Rashis that we need to read here, and I don't know what the topics are. But if anyone wants to look it up, it's on 61 in Brachot. Interesting about the woman. I would love to see more commentary about that, about the woman. What does that mean that the woman's made like a storehouse? She's narrow on top and wide on the bottom to put in the fruit, which is the fetus. So I'm assuming we're talking about her reproductive organ and not her body, because a woman's body is not narrow on top and wide on bottom. Or is it? I don't know. I would say that we're talking about the female sexual reproductive organ, and top and bottom would probably be from the perspective of the entrance of that area, and then the bottom would probably be the inner of that area. And I guess what we're describing is, it's like a storehouse, which its opening is narrow, but the inside is wider. It gets wider the deeper you go in. It gets wider. Why? Like a storehouse that you can put in fruit, and you should be able to put the fruit in. Why? I don't really understand. Is that like, why is a storehouse built narrow on top so you can put fruit in? Why? If it's wide on top, you can't put the fruit in? I guess it's just a big box, and it's like, what are you putting the fruit in? It's like, I guess better somehow if the top is like more narrow, like kind of like a tube, and you just drop them down and they go where they need to go. I don't know, but it's an interesting, wild piece of Talmud that I just would love to hear more commentary on. I'm sure there's a lot of commentary on. The best place for commentary for this type of stuff is to find the Masifta Gemara. It's an edition of Talmud that has so many pages and paragraphs and side notes and footnotes. It's a very helpful aid and tool for studying Talmud. If you can read Hebrew, I'm saying you should all be learning Hebrew. And if you can't read Hebrew, then you have to start reading the Hebrew. If you're just reading an English translation, I'm saying Art Scroll is a pretty good way to go to get the basic level, what we call pshat, the basic understanding of a topic. But if you're going to want to delve in deep, I don't think it's possible without learning Hebrew. Aramaic comes with Hebrew, by the way. It's the same letters, and then the words are very similar. The structure, everything's very similar. Meaning, once you learn Hebrew, it's not hard to take what you know and transfer that knowledge and start to be able to study Talmud in Aramaic, or Zohar in Aramaic. Zohar is a little different, the Aramaic in the Zohar than the Aramaic in the Talmud. But I'll tell you one thing. A Jewish male, that's an adult male, 13 years up and older, is supposed to, ideally, every day of the week or every week, depending on how, but pretty much read the weekly Torah portion twice in the Hebrew and once the Aramaic translation. Now, I can give you what's called a haftacha, a guarantee. I can give you a guarantee. If you do that, if you're a Jewish male, even if you're not a Jewish male and you did it, it would work. But I'm just saying, it's ideally for the Jewish male. There's 13 above. If you're supposed to read the weekly portion, each day's portion on its day, right? However the setup is, because there's different ways of doing it. You could do it all on Friday. You could do it all on Shabbos. You could do it whenever you want. But there's ways of doing it. Let's say you do Sundays a piece on Sunday, Mondays a piece on Monday. What do you do? Twice, and then once in the Aramaic. First of all, your Aramaic skills are going to go through the roof. Your Hebrew skills will go through the roof. Your Hebrew will improve. You're going to learn all the rules of Hebrew. You're going to start to understand them. Even if you can't verbalize them, you'll know them. And the second thing is, you're going to learn Aramaic so quickly, it's good. You're not even going to realize, but you're going to automatically start to match up the words, because the Aramaic translation, there's more than one Aramaic translation, but the standard one, that the one that we read twice, when I say we read the Bible portion twice and once in Aramaic, I'm referring to the Aramaic translation that's literally a word-for-word translation. It's by Onkelos, who was a convert to Judaism, I believe from Rome, from nobility, I believe. And his translation of the Torah into Aramaic is considered Holy and Holies. And it's word for word directly from Hebrew to Aramaic. There's no extra words, no extra nothing. So you get the best, meaning your brain automatically starts to recognize what this word in Hebrew is this word in Aramaic, because it's the same words always. This word is always that in Aramaic. And that's brilliant. So if you do that, I don't think it'll take you so long, probably one full cycle, meaning you do read the Torah once from the first Torah portion, which we're about to start after on the holiday of Sukkot, actually, on this holiday, I think, or the Shabbos after. But we're starting over the cycle from the beginning, from Genesis, from Bereshis. Meaning we're finishing it. Pretty much we're about to finish it. I don't know when it's on the holiday or it's on the Shabbat. We're finishing it. We're finishing it on Sukkot. On Sukkot, on Simchas Torah, we're going to read the last Torah portion. And then the next Shabbos, I believe, we're going to start again from the beginning. So if you did that, and you did that for one full year, by the end of the year, you'll be able to read Talmud, you'll be able to read Zohar, you'll know every single Aramaic word, because every single Aramaic word is going to be in the Onkelos, and you'll already know what they all mean because you are already comparing them to the Hebrew in the verse. And your Hebrew is very good because you've been reading the Bible in Hebrew. So that's just something you can do. I would recommend it to myself. I'm not going to take my own advice. I generally don't. I'm kidding. I'm saying, yeah, there was a time in my life where I was doing that. I'm not lying. I actually did it. I don't know if I did a full year cycle. It makes sense I would have. I'm saying I was religious for more than one full year of my life and like doing everything that I thought was right. So it makes sense I did a full cycle. I can't promise you I did. I wouldn't be surprised if I never did, though, because it's easy to like miss a week or miss this or that. I don't know. It's easy to fall out of these things. So I can't promise you I did it, but I wouldn't be surprised if I did. Anyways, I guess I'm here to just say l'chaim. I'm in Uman. I'm having a good time. You could send me money always. Don't forget, you could always send me your money. I'm very good at spending money in good places, in good ways. I think you should send me all your money, for real. I generally spend all my money before I go to sleep, generally. So I think you should get in the habit too. You should spend all your money. If you don't know what to do with it, just send it to me. Send it to me. All right? Shabbos. If you don't know how to send me money, ask me. I'll tell you the best ways for me to receive your money, you know? It's always possible. Shabbos.